It's okay. It's not jam question. I don't think it's jam questions. It's okay. We won't know who answered what, so we're not judging you. We're not judging you. It's okay. It's not jam question. I don't think it's jam question. I went live on YouTube and I could hear myself. Are you all taking the poll? Because I cannot see it moving on my end.
I can't see the poll.
Okay, Queen, maybe because you're a co-host.
Okay. I saw the poll. I was able to fill it up.
Yes, okay, I see three out of 15 people. Okay, we can do better. We can do better. We're not judging you. We're not judging you. We just want to know where you're coming to this conversation from. And for those of you that might have people that want to join but are having difficulty connecting on Zoom, we're also live on the SEGA YouTube page. I just posted the link in the chat box, so feel free to share because this is an important conversation and we want everyone to be a part of it as much as possible. Okay, 9 out of 14. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Let's get to 10. I see, okay, 9 of 14. Can we get to 10? 10, somebody take the poll for me so that we can move on. I'm looking for the 10th person to take the poll. Awesome, thank you. Whoever that was, awesome, okay. So we have 71% participation. I thought oh great, bonus, 11 out of 14. Okay, now we're ending the poll. So your results, let's see how well we did. I hope you all can see the results. So 91% of us say...
No, we cannot see the reports.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I have to share the results. Okay, now can you see the results?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Esther. I love the participation. So 91% of us got the answer, the first answer correct. Human papilloma virus, that is what HPV stands for. One person thought it was healthy people vaccine. Okay, but human papilloma virus. All right, do you think that HPV is dangerous? 73% say yes, but 27% are not quite sure that it's dangerous. So they said to a great extent, but not super dangerous. Okay. And then number 3, HPV is a sexually transmitted infection. 91% say true. One of us says false, all right? HPV is the same as HIV. One person says true. Everybody else says false. HPV can be cured. This is an interesting one. It's almost half and half. HPV can be cured. Half of us say no, that's 55% of us say no, 45% of us say yes. I think I would love to hear from the people that say yes. Maybe as we go through today's conversation, we might get to hear from those people that have a cure for HPV. All right, HPV affects both men and women. Okay, 91% say true. 9% or 1% says false. Do you know about the HPV vaccine? 73% of us say yes, that we know, but 27% of us know. Okay, so you're in the right place. Now, if you know about the HPV vaccine, where did you get that information from? So we're split. I think most of us got the information from a health facility, and then 27% of us got it from the media, which is TV, radio, or YouTube and social media. And we also have 3 of us that don't know about the vaccine. So we're in a good place to learn. Now, would you be willing to be vaccinated or allow your daughter to take the HPV vaccine? 91% say yes. Wow, okay, that's impressive. And 1% says no. Now, for the 1 person that said no, why would you not want your daughter or want to be vaccinated? You say, I don't have enough information to make a decision. Welcome. Well, you have come to the right place. We hope that by the end of today's conversation, you have enough information to make a decision about the HPV vaccine. Over to you, Queen. Thank you all for participating.
All right. Hi everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. So I love your yellow hat. It's looking really beautiful. Maybe you can send it down. Okay, so my name is Queen Ugueru, and I am the programs manager of Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. And we often call ourselves Segai because I know the name can be quite long. So at Segai, our vision is an equitable world where every girl and woman feels supported and empowered to reach her full potential. But not to worry, the men in our midst, we're here for you today as well. So you're welcome to share. And I'm excited about this webinar because, first of all, today is World Contraceptive Day. And if you're not aware, you're aware now. Today is September 26th. And it's important that we talk about issues like the human papilloma virus, and we are aware of how it can be prevented or how it can be treated if there's a treatment, which is why we're all here. Today we're going to learn from experts in the room that would really break this down, to our own level of understanding. We're going to hear from doctors, we're going to hear from public health promoters. So it's a fully packed program. And at Segai, one thing we love to do is give correct information because we know knowledge is power. So just stay tuned, relax. I hope you have your notepads, you have your pens, because we're going to be jotting down important information. So I'll just welcome you all to an amazing webinar. We're really looking forward to all the insightful knowledge that will be shared today. And thank you to our amazing speakers who are already here. We can't wait to hear from you. So right now, because we've spent so much time already, I'll just hand back over to our AD. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. We're going to quickly watch a video to set the tone for this conversation, and then we would get right into today's program. Please give me a thumbs up once you can hear and see the video.
I was saying on health matters, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency is seeking the support of religious leaders as it gears up to introduce the HPV vaccine to the vaccination schedule beginning 25th of September. This new additional vaccine is expected to prevent cervical cancer and will be given to girls between the ages of 9 and 15. Health correspondent Kemi Balogun has more details.
Cancer of the cervix, commonly known as cervical cancer, is the fourth most common cancers among women globally. An estimated 36 million women aged 15 years and over are at risk of developing cervical cancer in Nigeria. The prevention of the human papilloma cancer-causing virus has now become extremely important for the nation as women and girls remain affected. This drive is starting through the Primary Healthcare Initiative through the HPV vaccination in order to reduce this burden. At this biannual review meeting with religious leaders, the agency is appealing for support to address the bottlenecks of innovation and tradition that limits vaccination uptake.
Today, I urge you to join hands with the medical community in championing the cause of the human papilloma virus vaccination countrywide. By encouraging HPV vaccination within your congregations, you become advocates of life and guardians of health.
We have supported in resolving almost 2,000 non-compliance issues, as well as disseminating nearly 26,000 pro-vaccination Jumat messages and nearly 8,000 pro-vaccination church announcements.
The World Health Organization estimates that vaccination against cervical cancer will avert 71,000 deaths among Nigerian women yearly. The religious leaders admit that their support will be the driving force to get their followers vaccinated, and they are willing to get this done.
That's why the coming together of these religious leaders is so important, because we are the conveyors of messages. positive message, especially to our people. They believe in us, they believe what we say is right.
Religious leaders to communicate those messages and to share with mothers and fathers that their children are better off when they are vaccinated.
The meeting is also expected to identify effective strategies that will align with religious teachings and values ahead of the phase-by-phase rollout of the HPV vaccination campaign starting later in September. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
Awesome. Thank you.
This woman is.
All right. So without further ado, I hope everybody was able to hear and see the video. We want to get right into today's conversation. So today is World Contraception Day, as we've mentioned. I am Onyinye Ede, if I haven't introduced myself. I'm the founder and executive director of Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. And today we want to talk about HPV, which is the human papilloma virus, and also talk about the vaccine efforts currently being undertaken in Nigeria. It was interesting for me to learn that as much as vaccines, the HPV vaccine has been available for many years now, it's only this year that it landed in Nigeria. And that is why we are here to promote awareness of the vaccine and also to understand who should get this vaccine, why we should get this vaccine, and what we can do to continue to promote a healthier society for all. We have some dynamic speakers. I'm just going to quickly run through their bios, but of course, when they speak, you will get to know more about them. Some of them need no introduction, but I will still introduce them a bit. One of our speakers is Dr. Komomo Iwara. She's a senior resident in obstetrics and gynecology. She works with the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital in Cross River State, which is in southern Nigeria. She has a special interest in fetal maternal medicine, sexual and reproductive health, reproductive cancers, and maternal health education. She has been privileged to be a member of different boards and speak at different conferences that focus on women and the girl child. She strongly believes that promoting maternal health is key to the national and global health, and she enjoys cooking, traveling, playing with kids, and doing research and writing. She also loves to smile. She is happily married to her awesome friend, Joe Emmanuel, and she's blessed with 3 amazing jewels. Komomo, can I get you to turn on your video so people can quickly identify you before I move on to our next speaker? Dr. Komomo, are you here? All right, I saw her earlier, but maybe she's having some challenges. Okay, so let me introduce our next speaker. Of course, you all know Aproko Doctor, and Aproko Doctor is a medical professional, and he has used his platform to raise awareness and change social and behavior, or to promote social behavioral change. And I'm sure he will tell us more about the work that he's doing, why he cares about a topic such as HPV, and how he's working with the government to promote the vaccination for adolescents and women. All right, we also have Michael Adewale, who is a seasoned bilingual. Okay, wait, maybe I should have asked Aproko to show us his face. Aproko Doctor, are you here with us? Dr. Chinonso. Okay, if you can show us your face, just say hi. There we go, there we go. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, we've seen you in real life or in Zoom life. Okay, so now we also have Michael Adewale. Michael is a seasoned bilingual, a French and English public health consultant with a demonstrated history of working with governments, global nonprofit organizations. He's also skilled in advocacy, policy analysis, behavior change communication, program management, research, and international development. He's an open door scholar from Nigeria at the F. Erisman Institute of Public Health of the I.M. Shchevanov First Moscow State Medical University. He's in Russia, y'all, so I can't pronounce the name of his school, where he is currently studying for his master's in public health degree in epidemiology and evidence-based medicine. He was recognized for his work at the One Young World Academy in the UK as one of the top coursework submissions on pandemic preparedness, which is Global Leadership for Global Challenges. And he was nominated to receive an honorary doctorate degree in leadership and management from the London Graduate School for his work in community development and leadership. He's a Pan-African leader and he's working through the lens of social justice and community development. Michael, oh my goodness, like I couldn't finish reading all of that, but can you show your face and say hello to the audience? Awesome, there goes Michael. Let me spotlight him really quickly and then take off the spotlight. All right, and then our other speaker is Aderonke Olisa. Aderonke is a trained public health educator with over 5 years experience in adolescent sexual and reproductive health programming. She's a graduate of the University of Lagos, where she obtained a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology, and she furthered her education to obtain a Master's of Public Health in Population and Reproductive Health Education at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. She is very, very, very passionate about educating the girl child, especially about their health, so that they can make informed decisions that will lead to a better quality of life and future. She's a content creator on Omidon health platforms on social media, where she educates young women and girls about their health and well-being. Her goal is to create a sustainably safe space for girls to thrive and blossom into healthy women. Aderonke, please show us your face and say hello to the crowd. Awesome, awesome. All right, so we will start with a presentation by Michael. We've given him 10 minutes for his presentation, and we hope that he would do justice to the time and the information. Let me share my screen for Michael. Please, let's welcome Michael to share with us on the epidemiology and other basic information of it around HPV. Okay, Michael, the floor is yours. Let me advance your slide. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you
right.
very much, Oyiye, for the wonderful time. I'm so excited to be here, especially with other amazing speakers that will be speaking today concerning the HPV, the epidemiology, and the perspective of the Nigerian government. I'm so excited to meet Dr. Aproko and Dr. Kosomo and Aderonke, as we'll be doing justice to this today. My name is Michael Adewale, official name, and I'm here to discuss a topic of paramount importance, which is human papillomavirus. This virus is tiny, but has a big impact on public health today. So we will dive into these basic characteristics, the global epidemiology, and effective prevention strategies. Actually, there are some words, medical terminologies that are there in my presentation, but I will try as best as possible to actually break it down for public understanding. And I'm trusting my friend, Dr. Aproko, to actually give you a kind of sensational and sensitive information that's going to be very understandable by the audience. Next slide, please. Well, human papillomavirus is one of the most common sexual transmitted infection, and it can cause cervical cancer and other cancers, including cancer of the vulva, vagina, penis, and anus. And it can also cause cancer of the back of the throat, which is called oropharyngeal cancer. And this cancer actually includes the base of the tongue and tonsils. So if you're feeling that kind of symptoms, maybe you probably have to check with some tests. We are going to actually talk on this webinar. Next slide. So in addition to malignant neoplasm, what did I mean by that is actually a growth as a result of this virus. So the HPV is the cause of various clinical manifestations of the lesion of the skin and mucous membrane, including anogenital warts. When I say anogenital warts, it means some growth that arises from the anus, and which is most common sexual transmitted diseases. So these lesions are manifested by both clinical symptoms. You can see a sign of burning, bleeding, and pain. And also it causes psychosocial manifestation. For the person that have it, he has a kind of embarrassment, a kind of anxiety, decreased self-esteem, and it's also causing a complex family and domestic problem. And their treatment in many cases is complicated by a relapsing cause, in the sense that sometimes when it's been treated, it actually repeats itself. That growth actually comes back. Next slide, please. So the associated neoplasm, which means the growth in the ward. So the cancer of the penis arises as maybe 34,000 plus, the oropharyngeal close to 92,000 plus, the cervical cancer close to 569,000 plus, which is very, very high number in all types of cancer in all over the world. Next slide, please. So, but there is an initiative by the World Health Organization to actually eliminate cancer. So in May 2018, the World Health Organization director announced a global call for action to eliminate cervical cancer. Then to eliminate cervical cancer, all countries must reach and maintain an incidence rate of below per 100,000 women. For example, the vaccination has to be 19% of girls fully vaccinated with the HPV vaccine by the age of 15, and the screening of 70% of women screened under a high performance test by the age of 35, and again by the age of 45. And the treatment, which is the lasting 90% of women with pre-cancer treatment and 90% of women with invasive cancer management. Please, next slide. Next slide. So what is human papillomavirus itself? It's actually a virus with DNA-containing viruses that can infect the skin and the mucous membrane of various animal and human species. So to date, more than 300 types are known. The papillomavirus is found in the epithelium. When I say epithelium, it means the lining of the skin or lining of the internal mucosa of a human being. So it includes human and reptiles and birds. But this human papillomavirus is specifically for humans. There are other papillomavirus that are specifically for animals. Next slide, please. But the source of infection for women is actually human themselves, which means the cross-transmission between natural hosts belonging to different species is not typically for this virus. In a simple word, it means that this virus cannot be transmitted from animals or birds to human. It's actually anthroponetic. It's common between man and a woman, or in between a woman and a woman, or in between men and man, especially those that are homosexually active. Next slide, please. So these are the classifications of this virus, as we can see on this screen. Next slide, please. And I would like to talk about the epidemiological classification of this HPV. So actually, we have three different types of this virus. Number one, we have the high risk. Number two, we have the possible high risk. And number three, we have the low risk. Actually, these viruses are different. And the types, as you can see on the screen, are not the same. The types of the high risk HPV is different from the one of possible high risk, and is different from the one of the low risk types. Next slide, please. So the mechanism and the route of infection, the transmission mechanism, it can be via contact when you contact somebody that is being infected with this virus, but the leading route of transmission is sexual. But additionally, there can be infection from contact household, the horizontal through contamination environmental objects, e.g., maybe gynecological equipment. That goes for gynecological consultations. In the process, the doctor can make a mistake by not sterilizing the equipment. So in this process, people get to be infected with HPV. The last one is vertical transmission, which is from mother to children. Next slide. This is actually how it's been transmitted from mother to, we call it vertical, because a woman that has HPV infection without vaccination, without any treatment, can actually get his child also infected. Next slide. From this diagram, we can see how the damaged epithelium. When someone gets this HPV virus, it's actually breached the skin of the person. And when it breaches the skin, there is a transformational zone. When it's cut across that zone, the new person actually becomes infected. But if it didn't breach, the person heals over the time. Next slide, please. Now for the cervix, this is actually the transformation zone, the cervix area, especially in women. So the area we see with the red circle is actually the place we call cervix in medicine. And this is the place where the cervical cancer actually acts. So there is going to be a growth in that place that is going to result in precancer. Then after that, it results in cancer over the years. Actually, the HPV works in the sense that it works, you can have it and don't know that you have this virus. But over the years, in the next maybe 10 or 20 years, the cancer will continue to improve, we can continue to develop, and it will become something that is very, very difficult actually to treat. Next slide, please. So the